Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Am I speaking to Vinod Jadhav?
Yes, this is Vinod Jadhav here.
Hey, hi Vinod. So I understand that you are a GMAT 2018 aspirant.
Yes. Yes.
Right. So as you would know, my name is Manan Maheshwari and I recently graduated from IIM Bangalore and I entered IIM Bangalore via the GMAT route.
Okay.
So after my 12th class education, I moved to Singapore to pursue my undergrad education in computer engineering from Nanyang Technological University. And after completing my education, I was working at Barclays Singapore for close to 4 years as a technology professional.
Oh,
And post that, I gave my GMAT while I was working there, and yeah, ended up in IIM Bangalore.
that's really great to talk to you. And I
Right.
was really looking forward for this conversation. I had
Sure.
I had few queries regarding the preparation phases. I would
Yeah,
like
sure.
I would really appreciate if you could help me with them.
Yeah, not a problem. Yeah, just feel free to ask me any questions that you might have.
Okay, since I am a working professional, it's really
Right.
difficult for me to balance my preparation and the work.
Right.
I just wanted to know how can I manage both?
So, see, Vinod, so I totally understand what you're saying, and I personally was also facing this problem when I was preparing for GMAT while working at Barclays. So, essentially, the idea here is to actually do a balance of a little bit of a discipline versus sacrifice. So, what I mean to say is that when you're working on a job, you need to utilize your weekends very well. So,
Okay.
whenever you're on a job, typically you'll have your weekends free. So, those Saturday, Sundays, they become extremely crucial. You
Yes.
need to dedicate a good amount of 5, 6 hours every weekend, every day actually, Saturday and Sunday. And along with that, you should also utilize, the 1 or 2 hours at the end of each weekday. So you need to utilize these two time durations very well for your GMAT preparation. And along with that, I personally felt that it's also a lot about your mental attitude and discipline. So when you're working, you will often see that your colleagues or your friends would often ask you to go out for a movie, to go out for dinner. And this is where you need to be very firm and determined. You need to have that mental discipline to tell them that, guys, I am preparing for GMAT, or if you don't want to share that, guys, I am busy with something and I would not be able to join you. So
Actually, that
essentially, it's
was
a little bit of
happening a lot. So yeah,
yeah.
Saturdays,
So
Sundays
you
has
need
to
to
be
be
there.
very firm at your end. If you let those temptations get to you, it's very easy to say that okay, let's skip today's studies and we can probably catch up tomorrow.
I
But trust me that tomorrow never comes.
Okay, but I was thinking, is the coaching necessary, or can I do the self study by myself?
So personally, see, I think to each his own. But personally, I feel that for GMAT, I think self-study should be sufficient. I'm not against coaching, but what I would say is that one should definitely start with self-study. Because one of the things is, anyways, like you said, you're a working professional, right?
Yes.
So enrolling into a coaching institute, again, you'll have to manage your timelines. Sometimes you might get late at work. You might have to skip your classes, or you might even have to travel to your coaching institute. So
Yes.
even that is, in some sense, you are losing out on time. So
Yes.
I today feel that there are a lot of resources, official resources, as well as online resources that you can use to get started on your own. But in case you find any issues, in case you feel that you are not able to cope up, or you're not getting the right guidance, maybe you can consider coaching. But I would definitely recommend to start on it on yourself, which is
Okay.
what I did myself as well. So
Okay.
you should definitely start with self study.
In
Yeah.
that case, can you suggest me any of the reading materials, or where should I find out the resources?
Sure. So, I mean, the most obvious resource is that for GMAT, they have an official guide. So, that's like the go to reading material. So, you should buy that guide or you should have that guide. So, that's like the go to reading material. So, before you even think of going anywhere else, you should read that guide. So, it has basic tips on how to tackle the different sections of GMAT, and along with that, it has practice questions. So that's the first source for you. Then other than that, there are many other resources available in the market. A few of them are there are resources by Manhattan, there are resources by Kaplan. I personally used Manhattan a little bit for the sentence correction section. And
Okay.
moreover, today you can find a lot of online resources as well. Especially one of them is Unacademy, for example. You can look
Okay.
at their online sections on their GMAT, on their quant, and their verbal sections. So I mean, these are the 2 or 3 resources that I think should get you started well.
Okay, okay. And is there any specific topic or anything which I have to focus of?
See, again, personally, from what I have gained or what I have sort of learned when I have interacted with other people who are looking to give GMAT, especially like my friends from India, I've seen that generally people are more comfortable with the quant section,
Con
and
section. Okay,
they tend to be a little bit more intimidated or a little bit more uncomfortable with the verbal section.
okay,
So if you also fall in the same category, then maybe perhaps you need to focus more on the verbal section.
okay,
So, but that's again dependent on your personal strength. So what I would advise you is that before you begin with an official preparation, you should give a diagnostic test, which is available officially and without any preparation. So that will give you a good sense of where you stand currently without any prep. And based on your results from those couple of tests, you should then identify which were the areas that you're weak in, and then you should focus more of your energies in those areas.
okay.
So that's how I would go about doing it.
And what is the best strategy to get high score? I know.
Um, right. That's a good question. So, see, in terms of best strategy, you first need to understand how does GMAT actually score you, right? So there are three basic parameters on which your final score is determined. First one is the number of questions that you actually answer overall.
Okay,
Next one is how many of those questions that you answered did you answer correctly? And the
okay,
last one is the actual level of difficulty of those questions. So unlike a CAT, a GMAT is different in the sense that a GMAT is a computer adaptive test.
okay,
So what I mean by that is that whenever you're writing a GMAT exam, whenever you answer one question, your next question which appears is dependent on how you responded to the previous question. Unlike CAT, where CAT you have a blanket set of questions that is common for possibly every candidate. For
okay,
GMAT, it's not the case. So essentially, to get a good score, what is important for you is that you have to score high on all these three parameters. You should try to finish the entire exam, which means that the number of questions that you attempted. You should try to answer most of them correctly, and you should try to reach a good level of difficulty of the questions that are thrown at you. And how will you reach that good level of difficulty is if you answer questions correctly.
okay,
So typically how the algorithm works is if you answer questions correctly, the exam will actually throw more and more difficult questions to you, and eventually try to establish that what is your ability level. So these are three aspects on which you have to focus. And in terms of the mental aspects, I would just say that you need to be steady, just be calm during the exam, maintain speed with accuracy. So that's very important. That you need to give the right answers, but you should also ensure that you're doing it at a good pace.
okay. And this was really helpful, and I would really all those things. I just wanted to know
Sure.
any final tips from you or advice so that I can
So
follow.
like I mentioned, I would just reiterate again. So it is an adaptive test. So one of the common mistakes that I've seen candidates making is that while writing the exam, for example, if they answer a question and then they reach to the next question, right?
Yes.
What happens is that sometimes they start assessing themselves. Oh, this question seems easier than the last question. So does that mean that I answered the previous question wrongly? You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
Yes.
they waste valuable amount of time unnecessarily trying to decide whether this question was more difficult or less difficult. So I would advise that do not get into that pitfall. Just try to answer each question to the best of your ability in a good amount of time. I mean, that is what you should focus on. So that's one. Do not waste time trying to assess yourself whether this question is easy or difficult, because GMAT is again exam where time is very important. The next one is, as you know, that in GMAT you can never go back to a question. Once you've answered it, you just have to move on. So if you are stuck on some question and you realize after a minute or after a certain amount of time that you would not be able to, you're not able to answer this question, do not spend like 5 minutes answering that question. Because
Okay.
trust me, any question on GMAT is not that difficult that you cannot crack it. It's just that can you crack it within a reasonable amount of time. So if you realize that you are wasting too much time, I would just advise that you take an educated guess and move on. Do not get stuck on a question. This is a very common mistake that people do. And just to answer that one or two questions correctly, they sort of, spoil their remaining questions. They're not able to finish the exam. And
Okay.
if you are not able to finish the exam, typically GMAT penalizes you very severely. So these are a couple of things. Then one recent thing that I would just want to highlight to you, I'm not sure if you're aware.
Okay.
So typically GMAT has 4 sections, right? Analytical writing, integrated, the integration reasoning, then the important ones, quantitative and verbal.
Yes.
So your score, which comes out of 800, is a combination of your performance in the quant and verbal section, and your IR and your analytical writing are scored separately.
Okay.
However, those 2 sections are new and they are not as important. Doesn't mean that you don't do well, but quant and verbal are the main sections.
Okay.
So prior to July 2017, candidates did not have any option in the order in which they could choose to write the exam. It was always analytical writing, which is like their essay, then integrated reasoning, then quant, and then verbal. And that's how when I appeared for the exam, it was in this same order. However, there's been a big groundbreaking change by GMAT since I think July last year, that they've now given candidates 3 options in choosing the format, the order in which they want to appear for that exam. So the first order is the typical traditional order.
Okay.
The next one is that you can do verbal, then quant, then IR, then analytical writing. And the last one is you can do quant first, verbal second, then IR and analytical writing. Why I'm explaining this in a lot of detail is that so you need to take advantage of this option or of this flexibility that GMAT is giving to you. So you should choose the order in which you are most comfortable. So for example, I'll give you one example. If someone is very comfortable in quant, maybe they can choose the last order, that I'll do quant first, then verbal, then IR, then analytical writing. But another mindset could be, someone might say that I am very confident in quant, but verbal is something that I'm not that confident in.
Okay.
So when I'm starting the exam, I do not want to be mentally exhausted. So I want to be the most fresh when I'm appearing for verbal.
Okay.
This can be another mindset, another way of thinking. So in that case, you can choose the second order. I'll do verbal first, then I will do quant, then I will do IR, and then I'll do analytical writing. So this is again one aspect that now candidates can take advantage of and use it to your advantage. So I mean, I cannot recommend a specific order. It depends person to person. But I'm saying because GMAT has given you this flexibility, make the most of it. So I think those would be my final tips, along with just stay calm, stay focused during the exam, and try to answer to the best of your ability. And in one word, it's just speed with accuracy. If you do that, I assure you, you will ace GMAT.
Thank you very much. And for this, I would really follow the steps.
Yeah, and if you have any further questions, do feel free to reach out to me, and I would be happy to help you.
Definitely.
It was very nice speaking to you, Vinod. I wish you all the best for your GMAT preparation, and hope that you score. Hope you get a good score in GMAT.
Definitely. Thank you for so much of the tips and all those things. I really look forward for you. If any other queries, I'll definitely reach out for you. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
My pleasure. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.